Jen Neubauer. Share now. There.
We're in Spain. How was everybody's flight? Ours was
It was an easy flight actually. It was very just relaxing. The flight over here to Spain was just it was a very refreshing flight.
It's been a very sunny, beautiful day in Spain actually.
The stewards were just so kind and so
let me get on so I can see who's all here.
We're just kind of waiting a little bit while people kind of log in. And if you missed last week we were in Greece and we did, what did we do? We did moussaka.
We did moussaka.
Fantastic. And it turned out great.
It was really
people
good.
Shared their images of their moussaka and shared what fun time they had, it was so much fun. And and if you missed it, obviously we have it all of our shows on YouTube channel, Making Food Fun. So please go in, watch them, rewatch them, share them with your friends, and be sure to hit subscribe.
Hey Cooper! Aubrey says, honestly, one of the only ways I'm aware of what day it is these days in this stream, so Wednesdays. So we at least always know what Wednesday is.
Today is Wednesday. We don't know what any other day of the week is, but at least we know today is Wednesday.
Aubrey, we definitely, we flew private. We definitely took a jet.
Oh, it was a private plane all the way. We went high class.
We got a really good deal. It was like on Groupon.
It's funny how this kitchen in Spain looks just like my kitchen back home.
Right?
All right. So in the honor and festivities of Spain, we are going to do a sangria, and there are so many different versions of sangria and so many different things you can do, flavor profiles. And finding one that you enjoy. I've had them where they're really just a little bit almost on the savorier side with like lots of different like allspices and cinnamon and things like that. And then I've had them really just light and fruity and really kind of sweet with strawberries and more light and refreshing. I'm somewhere in the middle. I like a little bit of that cinnamon and nutmeggy kind of flavors, but I also love the fruitier flavors. So we're going to make a quick one today. Yes.
Hey Caitlin. Hey Mary Kate.
Caitlin. Mary
Yeah,
Kate.
because when we did our Christmas party down in Key West, you did a white sangria and you added cucumbers. So it was
Cucumbers
very like
and mint
and
so forth. That one does not keep.
Yeah, Carolyn and I learned that the hard way.
We learned that the hard way. Because cucumbers, shockingly enough, when you put them in alcohol, does not make good cucumber vodka or cucumber gin, because cucumbers
makes a good pickle.
Makes a great pickle, and pickle juice does not taste good in sangria.
Yeah.
So where it was very refreshing and tasty the first day, it was not very tasty the next day.
Yeah, because I think Carolyn came over and she and I opened a bottle and it had been about a week. And she was like, I don't think this is right.
Yeah.
Hey, Brenda.
It was so bad. It was so bad. So we threw it all away. And I remember
your mom's
tasting
on.
it.
Hi, Lois.
So this is a quick one. Sangrias usually are better the next day, except for the white one with cucumber. But
drink that one quickly.
Usually, getting the fruit in there and mixing with a little bit of brandy and wine, it allows those juices and stuff like that to really marry together really well. But sometimes you have some friends coming over and you want a quick sangria. This is a fun one. So we're taking a half an orange. We're actually going to do an extra slice of the orange to kind of garnish in our glass a little bit later. So there it is.
Who's making sangria with us tonight?
And then the rest of the orange we can put aside for tomorrow morning breakfast. Apple, and about half of an apple. And again, we're just going to take a little extra of this apple and put in as a garnish just to make it look nice in the glasses. And see if you have one. You can do that. And also it's good to eat. All right, so we're going to just slice these up a little bit.
Oh, Brenda's already made hers. Yay!
Brenda's already made hers, so that's fantastic. She's ahead.
Hey, Miriam. Oh, Cooper's making theirs too. Sweet. Yay! I like that people are making this cocktail. It's super easy, and I think also one of the keys is you don't have to go with like an expensive wine. That's the brilliance of sangria, is you can go with just a super affordable
You know,
wine.
obviously, your taste it's important whether you like really sweet or not. So going with a sweeter wine or a drier wine
Hey, Jen.
is up to you. We have a cab is what we're using today, so it's a little on the drier side, but very fruit forward anyways. So we're just dicing up the apple, and we're going to do the same thing with the orange. And I'm putting it in here. You can put it right in your pitcher that you're going to use. I just wanted you to be able to see what's going on. So, and because this isn't clear glass, we are going to do it in this first. But essentially, you're just kind of like chopping it up, and then we're going to dump in our brown sugar.
How much did we say?
We have 3 tablespoons, I'm sorry, of brown sugar.
This one's really easy to make, Jen, and it's super tasty.
It has a half a teaspoon or just shy of in allspice, and then a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're just going to muddle that. Get those juices, the sugar and the cinnamon all mixed in there with the allspice. And if you don't have, a muddling tool or anything like that, that's fine. You can just use your wooden spoon or something like that. Just press it, because all you're just trying to do is just kind of break up the apples and the oranges and so forth.
And really get that juice in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a pitcher. We're going to put some ice in that pitcher. And we're going to put all of our little muddling stuff, apples, good crushed up. Look at that, nice. Crushed apples, brown sugar, cinnamon, allspice. We've got a 3/4 cup of orange juice, and we have 1/3 cup of brandy. Okay. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir. And then we're adding a full bottle of red wine. So the pitcher that you use hopefully can handle that.
A full bottle.
A full bottle. All right. We're just going to give that a good stir. And we're ready to taste.
Woo!
That's how quick and easy this sangria is. Ooh, I poured too fast. I got a lot. It's very full.
That's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I'll reference last week's episode. Your husband will just clean up the mess later. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think I got too many chunkies. There we go.
That was it.
Blocking the
Hey, Kathy.
the pour spout.
And then
All right.
I'll just put a little linen here.
You can do that. Perfect. Fantastic. I'll take a paper towel, clean up my mess. All right, cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, may I have a straw?
Yes, ma'am.
Metal straw, hashtag save the marine life.
All right, cheers.
Tasty.
Very tasty.
Brenda says, looks good, cheers. And Kathy said a hi baby to me, so.
Oh, fantastic. All right, let's get started on making paella. Now, I know last week we talked about, somebody mentioned paella, and I love paella. To make a proper paella, you should have a paella pan. and we don't have one, and I still don't have one. So you don't necessarily have to have one. I'm using a low skillet fry pan. Ideally, we should have a bigger fry pan because you want it to be low and shallow across your pan. I'm making a half a recipe, which is good for 2 to 4
people. Yeah, because we ate it twice. We had leftovers.
Because the recipe that I posted is for about 6 to 8 people. So we're making half that recipe today. So I will tell you the ingredients and then we'll cut it in half. All right?
All right, Thompson.
So a paella pan, if you've ever seen one, they're really shallow. They have like angled sides, and they're really large. And what you would do is, what's going to happen is the rice that's going to be in this dish will be kind of on the bottom and stick to the bottom and create like a little. And you never stir this dish. This is the one where you put everything in. You're just going to leave it and let it simmer, and you want everything to kind of stick a little bit to the bottom of the pan. That's going to create a nice crusty and give you some texture with your paella. If you don't have that and you have a taller, and maybe you're making this into a stock pot or something like that, a low shallow pot of some sort. So it's going to be a little thicker. You're still going to have, all the flavors are going to be there. It's just not going to be the perfect paella, but the flavor profile is still amazing.
It is so good.
Still love this. And it's such an easy dish.
Yeah.
All right. So what we have is we have, what?
One of those one-pot wonders.
One-pot wonders. 2 links of chorizo. I have very small links. Because I'm cutting it in half, I'm still going with 2 links. 4 chicken thighs, in this case, 2 chicken thighs, 1 bell pepper, 1 onion, some paprika, some crushed tomatoes, arborio rice, some 3 cloves of garlic, or like I have 1 really big clove. I said about 5 strands, and when I was reading the recipes, I said 5 strands of threads of saffron. I couldn't find fresh saffron. It's very expensive and hard to find. I did find a dried saffron in the spice aisle, so because I'm using a dried, not as fresh saffron, I'm using like a good almost 5 to 10, about 10 strands. But you can go heavier on the saffron if you like saffron. I love hints of saffron. I think saffron can be a little overpowering sometimes. We have some chicken stock.
Hi, Dean.
We have a dozen mussels, and then a half a pound of shrimp, and a lemon, which we will wedge up. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna put a little olive oil in our pan and get this started on medium. And just a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And we're just going to slice up our chorizo in little slices.
Well, we also were not going to use 2 because we weren't sure how spicy this was, but we went with, Brian found a Salvadorian chorizo, so it's not super spicy. And I actually like a lot of sausage in my paella, so it was really, I was glad it wasn't super spicy. I think the thing that you were kind of shocked with too when we did our little test run on Sunday was that it does at a certain point, you let it set for 12 minutes and the rice cooked completely.
Yeah, I was surprised how quickly and easily the rice cooked. I was looking at the time frame on this, and I'm like, how is the rice going to be cooked in that little bit of time? And lo and behold, it was all cooked. And I was like, oh, it's perfect. Everything came out super perfect.
I think you'll find with this dish too that with it being like a one kind of skillet wonder, it's also a really, if you're prepped and ready to go, it's a quick and easy dish to put together. I think altogether, it took us about 30 minutes when we did it on Sunday, I think. Once we started.
About 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mindy.
All right, so we have 2 chicken thighs that we're going to also cut up. And we're just going to dice this into about 1-inch cubes.
Skin on because we're dangerous.
Skin on, I would say no. I would take most of the skin off on this because it would just get in the way of the dish. with the fats and of the skin, because it's not like you're crisping it up. But we do have plenty of still like some of the fat from the thigh meat, so it'll be nice and juicy. Alright, so that's all cubed up, ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to cook this down until they're fully cooked, and we're going to pull them out of the pan. Leave the oils in the pan, and then cook everything else and put it back in later. So we'll do that. Meanwhile, we're going to, while that's cooking, I'm going to clean my board and wash my hands. So how many people do we have actually cooking in real time with us today?
I know we have Cooper. Who else is cooking with us tonight? I haven't seen Nancy, so I don't know if her and Kara maybe weren't interested in paella.
Aw. So that's the other thing about paella. It doesn't, like, we have sausage and chicken, and we have a little bit of seafood. We have the mussels and the shrimp in here. But you can make it all seafood, and if you are a shellfish allergy, you can make it with like other kinds of fish.
Well, we talked with Carolyn and Dave yesterday, and Dave's allergic to shrimp, so they were going to do scallops.
Yeah.
But you said maybe a heartier fish too? Or like a snapper you mentioned?
Yeah, like a snapper, and I was in the store this morning getting the shellfish, and they had some catfish pieces, and that would be awesome in here. You don't need to do seafood at all. You could just do the chicken and the chorizo and leave the seafood out. Paella typically is a seafood and chorizo sausage dish. Paella, the name comes from the pan itself, not the food.
Yes.
Paella is a pan.
And it originated on the east coast of Spain, in Valencia, right? Isn't that what we
Valencia,
researched?
which is south of, on the coast south of Barcelona.
Barcelona.
That's what I said, right?
And it was a lunch dish for workers.
All right, so we're going to remove the sausage because they're cooked through. And we're going to add in our chicken and cook that down and do the same thing. Again, leaving the fat and so forth in there.
One of the things I asked you on Sunday was about salt and peppering the chicken, but you said no because of all the flavor that's already going on with the chorizo. You don't need to.
This is one that, like, you can kind of taste a little bit of it, but you're going to realize with all the, like, with the saffron, which has a little saltiness to it, and the paprika, which has a little bit of a, smoky and pepperiness to it, the chorizo itself, obviously full of flavor and a little bit of spices in there. So there's a lot of flavor going on in here. I don't think you need a lot of salt and pepper.
I will say personally, at the end when we ate it, I liked a little bit of fresh cracked pepper on top. It was nice.
Absolutely.
But I didn't have to use any salt. Shocking for me.
Yeah, so it must be pretty salty if he was able to eat it without adding
Well,
any
it's not
extra
that it was
salt.
salty. I don't want to mislead anyone. It just was so flavorful, it didn't actually really need any salt.
That says a lot coming from this one over
It
there.
really does. Hashtag approved.
Saltaholic approved. While we're cooking down the chicken, we're going to go ahead and start cutting up our onion and get that diced up.
I like that we're, when we post ingredients, you're telling everyone how to do it. Like, chop the onion, dice this,
Because
mince
hopefully
that.
some of you already have pre-diced and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, Carolyn does it this way, and I think it kind of gives people who are cooking in real time with us a little bit of time to, like, not feel so rushed.
Okay.
I think that's nice.
All right. Our onions all diced up. We're going to do the same thing with our bell pepper, and I think our chicken is just about done.
Oh, good. Carolyn said, yes, it's nice. Perfect. More time to have a sip of sangria, right?
With this dish, we're going to have lots of time for sangria while it's
Yes.
cooking. All right, so the chicken looks like it's done. A little splatter from the... What's going to happen is you're going to have on the bottom of your pan is bits of chicken and so forth, and that's okay. And bits of and still have bits of the chorizo, right? So we're going to remove that all out of there. Again, still leaving the fats and the oil that's in the pan. Leave it all in the pan.
Hey, David. David Caravantes is on.
Oh,
Happy belated birthday,
yes.
by the way.
So with this removed and with the oils and everything in there, and the bottom of your pan is still going to have lots of stickiness on there, little bits and pieces, which is fine. Because what we're going to do is we're going to deglaze the pan. And those of you who have watched previous shows know what I mean when I say deglaze the pan. It's adding a little acid, like a white wine, red wine, or some lemon juice of some sort. In this case, we're going to be using white wine. So we're going to get the onions in there that we've diced up. And the bell pepper. And we're going to saute down that a little bit. While that's sauteing down, we're actually going to release the flavors of the saffron. And what I mean by that is we're going to take a little bit of warm water in the saffron, and we're going to put the saffron fronds into the warm water. And that's going to open up the flavors of that saffron. And we're also going to use that water and everything into this dish. Alright, so we're going to give that a little stir. Let that saute down a little bit. And we're going to grab some warm water.
Hey, Anton. David said it looks good. It's so good. We do test runs every Sunday before we do our Wednesday class, and this one we knocked it out. It's good. Brian did a good job.
Thank you. So I have about a third of a cup of water, a third to a half a cup of water, and I put the saffron in there, and we're going to just set that aside, right? And that's looking really good. And we're going to go ahead, while that's sauteing down, we're going to go ahead and chop up our garlic. So I've got one really big clove. This dish I'm cutting in half, so I would use about a clove and a half. This is one really big one, so that's good. And a total of about 3 cloves for a full dish. You don't need a lot of garlic. Crush that down, take all the skin off. Look at that, perfect. All right, we're going to chop that up.
Hey, Brandon.
Your brother?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, with a little chop on that, we're going to go ahead and put that in there as well.
Is Sarah going to make this, or is this not quite up your alley?
It should be. All right, the onions are looking nice and cooked, so we're going to, and now you got a lot of brown bits on the bottom of your pan. So this is where we're going to deglaze it, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take about a quarter of a cup, between a quarter cup, third cup or so of white wine, and we're going to just pour that in there. And we're going to deglaze that down. And you'll see already that all that wine, the acid from that is just taking up all the bits off the bottom of the pan. So that's perfect. Look at that. Nice.
Hey, Kelly.
Now you got all that flavor in your onions and your bell pepper and your garlic there. So that's good, right? All right, so while we got that, we got the white wine, and then we're going to go ahead now and dump in our 1 cup of arborio rice. Again, I'm doing a portion, so I'm doing a half a cup of that. And then an 8-ounce can of diced tomatoes. I got 4 ounces there. The smoked paprika, we got 2 tablespoons. Again, I have 1. And then, what else? And your chicken broth. We're going to give that a little bit of a stir. And we're going to add in our saffron now. Stir that all up real good. Get it nice and mixed evenly. We're going to add our chicken and our chorizo back in now.
Smells amazing. I don't know about anyone else.
Yes. And we're going to let that go ahead and simmer for about 12 minutes. Okay? 12 to 15 minutes. And this is where you want it to just kind of cook in the pan, and you don't want to disturb it too much. So we're going to just let that totally, completely come to a simmer, and then simmer that for about 12 minutes or so. So far, any questions?
I don't think so.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I guess now's when you can kind of clean.
Do you want to hand me that board? Yeah, we're going to clean up our workstation a little bit.
Carolyn, are you in a good place? How's everybody doing?
Look at that, all clean. And we can drink our sangria.
Woohoo! So good.
So while that's simmering, we'll go ahead and give this a nice, we'll give it 11 minutes. Timer on that to keep us on track.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and wedge up our lemon. And we're going to clean our shrimp. You might have already got shrimp cleaned, which is fine.
I don't know if there'll be any leftovers, Brenda. These are, this is pretty good.
Which ones is this one? Just the leftovers?
Miriam, yes, it's everything's cooked on a medium heat this whole time.
Yep. Was I supposed to turn it down? No, that was that was that other dish.
That was the other dish. Yeah.
And there's no preheating of the oven this time, so
I was off the.
You're off the hook.
Nailed it because I didn't have to.
My shrimp has already been deveined. It just wasn't peeled, so I'm going to go ahead and peel that now. I'm removing all the outer shell, the feet, and the tail, so that I'm left with just the shrimp itself.
All right, Brenda, we'll save you some leftovers.
So again, it was a half a pound of shrimp.
Yes.
And a dozen mussels. I went a little heavy on the mussels and the shrimp.
Oh, sweet. So Carolyn combined Greece and Spain because she used the Metaxa, which is the Greek brandy.
Oh, there you go.
And her sangria.
Perfect.
And then and added raspberries. Yummy.
Ooh, and added raspberries. So that's the great thing about sangria is you can just add fruit to wine and add a little brandy. With a white sangria, I love going with gin. Believe it or not, and
yes.
white wine with fresh fruit, like some grapes and some peaches, some mint and gin. It's really, really good for a white sangria, and so forth. So that's simmering really nicely now. You probably can't quite see it, but it's just got a nice bubble across the whole thing. And what happened to my timer?
Hit upper. There, up. There it is. Yeah, you're good.
It's still.
No, it was weird. Yeah, I was about to say something. I was like,
Where'd my timer go? Those fancy. See, it's technology again. Me and technology. So supposedly I'm able to control the oven with my phone, and I haven't been able to figure that out yet either. So.
There's an app. Yeah.
There's an app for that.
There is an app for that. I've been meaning to. I've been meaning to work on.
Meant to.
I don't think we turned it down, did we? I think through this process it stays at medium the entire time because you want it to...
Yeah, because we're cooking off a lot of the liquid and the rice is absorbing that liquid and so forth. So it's just going to slowly cook that and it's going to kind of come down. If you see that it starts getting a little too dry, like it doesn't seem like there's much liquid in there, feel free to add a little warm water, a little more chicken stock if you want. It's looking like we have plenty of simmer bubble going on here, so that's fine. We don't need to add anything more to it right now. But if you do, please feel free. Don't hesitate. And that's going to cook down fairly much, but you're going to still have a little bit of liquid bubbling in there because when we're going to add the shrimp in, and the mussels, and the lemons in there, and then we're going to cover it for about 3 more minutes. And that'll cook, and the mussels will open up, and the juices from that. The shrimp will cook really nicely. The lemon will kind of cook down into the sauce, give it a little tanginess, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Any other questions so far?
I don't think so.
Okay, where are we going next?
Right. So while we have a little time to kill, who has some suggestions? Because I don't think we've fully landed on a destination, did we?
Well, I have an idea in my head.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what other people thought first.
All right. Well, Carolyn, do you have any suggestions? Brenda? Hi, Kennedy. I don't know if he's still on, but I know.
So I'll just throw it out there.
What is it?
And if you guys want to have something different, please, by all means, make suggestions. Because we thought about Hungary.
Yes, that's true.
Going to Budapest.
Budapest.
I thought about going to Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
But I think next stop should be the motherland of recipes. What's that?
Okay, so before you say it, Brenda said Russia.
Russia.
And Carolyn said Morocco, which is interesting because we had talked about Morocco weeks ago.
We have talked about Morocco. We can talk a little bit more about Moroccan food. It's
because you have that cookbook I got.
I don't have a tandoori
Yeah, because that's not...
Is that what you call it?
Tandoori, yeah.
And that's what a lot of their cooking is done in.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't...
Your mom says Africa.
Africa. That's an interesting cuisine. I don't know that... I don't know what I would want to do.
Yeah.
They do what they call, it translates as guinea pig. It's not the guinea pig that we know of in our little hamster cages, but it is very similar. But that's a very common dish in especially South Africa. But, quite delicious.
Hi, Robin. Hi, Julie Wayne.
I'm thinking we need to just go to the motherland of all recipes, and that is France. That's where I think we should go. I think we should go to Paris, France next.
Oh, Julie's missing it today because she's about getting ready to board a plane. Safe travels.
Oh, safe travels. Yes, yes, yes.
Eric Jeter's on. Oh, that's really funny. Okay, so I have a couple. So Aubrey says, I love a chicken tangine recipe I learned in a class that is South African.
Yes.
Jen said, which is funny because this is what Chrissy P was saying, I was wondering about a brunch for dinner. I would love to learn to make a quiche.
A quiche?
Yeah.
Well, that's also French, so let's do it.
Ooh la la.
So Morocco, just so you know, is in Africa, so that's part of Africa. And so yes, the tangine is used throughout a lot of their cuisine. And if anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's a clay pot, shallow clay pot with a clay lid that goes on it that comes to a cone shape with a hole in the top to allow the steam out. And everything cooks inside this clay pot. And you can't replicate that in anything else. But you can still cook the food in a pan and get those flavors. It just doesn't, it's just not the same. But
well, like what we're doing here.
We're doing with paella, so it's not completely out. We got about 3 more minutes. And
yeah, because our riad that we stayed at in Marrakesh, every dinner we had, everything was served in the
little, yeah. It's
not every dish.
Not every dish.
The main.
They do lots of sides.
Yeah, they go like kind of tapas and yeah.
They do lots of sides. And so they had string beans, right? And
yeah.
They had
they did something with like
and
they did something with like carrots and raisins.
Lots of raisins.
Yeah.
And cinnamon is a big thing.
I feel like it's almost I felt like we had to say, okay, we're done, like because they just they'll keep bringing it out.
Keep bringing food
out. It was so good.
Like, whoa, no, I'm good.
We stumbled into.
We had a great time in Morocco.
We did. We stumbled into that hotel, and they took us out to the courtyard. We were the only ones out there, and they brought us this tower of food. After we had just had lunch. All we wanted was a glass of wine.
And we felt guilty just ordering wine, so
we ordered some food.
We just figured a little appetizer, and they brought out this tall tower of
huge
food with all this sides, and again, it's all about the salads and sides, and something saucy like an eggplant dish that's considered a salad.
Tabbouleh,
salad.
Right.
Hummus is considered a salad.
Would you do something else with the quiche?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, Brenda? Besides quiche, or like what we'd put into the quiche? We'll see what she says. You know, there's that delay. So.
Yes. All right. So this is looking pretty good.
Carolyn, how's yours looking? I hope it smells as good as ours, because...
I've got about a minute left, although I think I might have a little less than a minute, because I put up 11 minutes when we had already been talking for...
It literally had only been about a minute. You weren't... We were not that far.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
so
good.
I'll leave it cook a little bit. We are gonna turn this down a little bit to just like a medium low, just below medium.
Medium low. For anybody that didn't hear that. Oh, she says no. In addition to, like, do the quiche and something else, like.
Yeah, because quiche again. Once you make the custard and you pour that into the pie shell, which we'd already talked about making a pie crust, but we can make a new one. I'll make a pie crust again. Talk about making a pie crust. Once you put it in the oven, there's really nothing to do. So we could do something else along with the quiche, or maybe Well,
let's think about this.
Let's think about it.
You know what? We won't decide on anything tonight.
There's lots of options out there.
We will.
Lots of options out there.
Yeah.
But I think France might be our next stop.
And I think like a brunchy
So
breakfast for
much to
dinner
do.
thing is a fun idea too.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some ideas. Yep.
I found it interesting. Oh, that's our timer.
That's our timer. All right, so we're going to.
We are having sangria, Robin. If you go to the very beginning of the, well, you can't yet, but once we do the, once I post the stream when it's done, Brian teaches you a really simple, easy sangria that's very, very tasty.
Simple sangria. So I'm putting the shrimp in there, and then I'm going to actually. It took me a second to put it in there, and then I'm going to flip it over because I want part of it that side cooked, and now I'm going to just kind of flip it, give it a little flip. Get it down into the sauce, kind of, and you still should have a little bit of simmering going on. A lot of the liquid should have simmered down, but there still should be some simmering going on, which is what you want. We're going to go ahead and put in our mussels. If you have the big pan and you're doing the full order, it's 12 mussels. I'm doing about 8 because I'm doing a half order. I love mussels. So.
Just want to make sure that Carolyn heard about the flip with the shrimp. That you once you put them in, let it sit for about a minute, and then flip them over.
Yeah, I flipped them over just because I want both sides to I want to start cooking one side of that shrimp and then flip it, and then it'll continue cooking. And then you're just going to throw your lemon wedges on there. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I could have been doing this whole time and I didn't. Was chop up a little bit of parsley to put on top.
Oh, but everybody else has already done it, and you are a king at the fast chops, so you got this.
So we're gonna do a quick handful of some parsley. Chop up some parsley here real quick. Fantastic. And we're gonna just sprinkle a handful of parsley on the top of that, and then we're gonna cover that up. It's on medium.
Is it medium lowish?
To medium low. So it should be a slow simmer with the lid on it. We're gonna do it for about 3 more minutes, and then we are gonna be done. So.
Do you want to set a timer, or do you want me to just watch it?
You can set a timer real quick. And then we will timer 3 minutes. Start. Perfect. Clean up our station and start getting ready to serve. This is one of those family meal type dishes that typically would be, the whole pan would be, because it'd be in a big shallow paella pan, right? And they would take that paella pan and they would just put it in the middle of the table, and everybody would just scoop into it. And we're not going to do that, but.
Well, and that's what it was, like, especially when it was originally made for workers. They had their own spoon, and they would just eat right out of the dish.
Shaped pan. Yep.
Brenda says, "Any new presents from your neighbors?"
No.
Not really new presents, but
I got some cardboard.
You did get some cardboard. That was from Kathy, though.
I was very happy about the cardboard.
Rick Thompson gives you props. He said, "Nice ASL 3."
ASL 3.
I guess you signed the number 3, or the way you signed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
3. Yes. So I don't know where I picked that up, but there's a lot of big history behind that. It's the number 3 in sign language, but it's also the number 3 in Europe when they go 1, 2, 3, 4, right, 5.
Like Janet did in Rhythm Nation. Did she do it that way?
I think she did.
Yeah.
And that's how in World War II.
Yeah, Robin says European 3. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They would know. In World War II, they knew if there was an American spy because they would use the number 3 and they would do this and they would know there was an American spy. Anyways, that's a small little history that I learned at the Spy Museum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yes. So come to DC and go to the Spy Museum. You learn lots of fun little things. They have a whole. They moved.
It's moved. It's
I haven't
huge.
seen the new one.
We have not been to the new one yet.
They have a whole James Bond section of all the old James Bond technology that they did over the course of time, which is fun.
Yep.
What else? All right, so that's, we got 47 seconds, so we need to start thinking about plating.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, so I got my sangria.
You got your plates, or your bowls.
Little shallow bowls.
Yes, they moved, Aubrey. They're still in DC, but they're not in the place next to Shake Shack, right?
Yeah, that's where they used to be. They moved down closer to the river.
That's right. Yes.
By the throughway there, not the river, but it's kind of closer to the river.
Yeah.
But through that expressway, the loop, or 495 or whatever, they're closer to that huge building. So huge. All right. It's been 3 minutes. I think, didn't we do this for 4 minutes the last time?
I don't think so. I think you looked at it and it was... You just check your mussels to see if they're open, and if the mussels are open, you're good.
Oh, look at that. It looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Because shrimp only take 3 minutes. So yeah,
the
it looks
shrimp
good.
is
Look at that.
completely cooked. The mussels are all open.
We turn our heat off.
We can turn our heat off. We're going to scoop some out. All right. And there it is. Paella, can you see?
I don't know yet. Remember, there's a delay. You're serving it right now.
Yes, I am serving right now.
Brenda says loverly. Yeah, looks good. Let's see it.
Good. All right. Thank you so much. We had fun in Spain.
It was nice. Nice little visit. Kind of hop back on that private jet and let you know where we're headed for the next destination.
Yeah.
Are we thinking France? I think we're pretty much set on France, right? Kind of? Or do you want to just keep everyone waiting?
I think France is it. Yeah. But I'm not gonna make that definite
Until we post.
Until we post and make a final decision. But I think France is it. All right.
Aubrey says, Robin says beautiful. Ann says looks great. Jen says thank you guys so much for doing this every week. Thank you for tuning in every week.
Yes.
You
and
Carolyn
share with your friends. Share the post with your friends. Get everybody involved because this has been a lot of fun, and I want to keep doing this for as long as we can. As long as my schedule when work finally does continue.
Yes. We'll kind of adjust the day.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yes.
Work will continue, but I will still continue to do this. We might move it to another day. But,
yeah.
But yeah, keep posted.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.